Project Lombok is a Java library that is supposed to be plugged into your Eclipse or any other IDEs that you're using. And Lombok helps us automatically generate the getters, setters, and lots of boilerplate codes that we may require to work with. To add this to our Eclipse, let's go to Maven repository and look for Lombok. Press enter and let's click the very first one and select the latest version, which is 1.18.10, and then copy this by clicking on it, go back to our Eclipse, add to our project dependencies. Control Shift F or Command Shift F to format, save it, and if it's already not there, it's going to download from the net and stores that in our local M2 repository here. Once this is done, copy this qualified name by right click on that and go to a terminal or command prompt. I have to open a new tab over here and run the command java -jar followed by the Lombok jar. This brings up a GUI which scans your entire computer for prominent directories where Eclipse can be found. And then it shows the list of Eclipse that you have. I have only one. And in case if it is not found, you can always go to the specify location and identify the eclipse.ini file, and that would be added over here too. If Lombok has already been updated to your IDE, this symbol will also appear right next to this, but right now you can see that I don't have. I have to click on install/update and it is done now. Basically what it has done is it has added an entry in the eclipse.ini. So if I have to run this again, for example, you'll see that my Eclipse right now has already been installed with Lombok, so I don't have to do anything. So I quit installer, but this will only take effect if you close Eclipse and open again. Now do not click on file restart, that will not help. So you have to close Eclipse and open again. So I'm going to quit Eclipse, say S, and then open Eclipse once more. Once the Eclipse is completely quit, let's open Eclipse again. And this reads the content of eclipse.ini fresh. I'm opening my Spring project folder. My previous Spring workspace is already there, so I click on launch. You won't see any difference here, but to see if our Lombok has done the job or not, let's go to our JDBC product DAO, which is under DAO. Let's say we want to create a couple of variables here. So since we want to work with databases, we also may want to have some variables. Let's create here private string driver class name. Let's say private string URL, private string user, and password. Now, as you can see, there are 4 warnings here. The warnings are there because these are private variables. We don't have any getters and setters. Obviously, they are useless for an external application. If I look at this outline over here, at this time you can see there are only 4 variables, but by going to our class here and adding an annotation called @getter, press Control space, and you will see that I got an annotation from lombok.getter. Lombok instructs Eclipse compiler to add getters for all the private variables. You can see that I already have getter functions over here, which are the standard getter functions. Likewise, I can also say @setter. Now you can see that I also have the setters for all these. If I add one more variable here, even for that variable also, you would be seeing those setters and getters. You can add constructors. For example, if I want a default constructor, I can always say @no_arg constructor. You see that I got a no argument constructor. So without having to write many lines of code, we already have getters, setters, and no argument constructor. So this is the use of this fantastic tool called Lombok.